Welcome to How Preschool Teachers Do It.
This is Allison Kentos. I am an early childhood educator.
And this is Cindy Tarabush. I am an early childhood consultant.
This podcast is for parents and early childhood professionals.
Let our experience and research-based knowledge become your guide. Before the episode officially starts, a quick message about our podcast anniversary. Allison and I will be celebrating 1 year of this podcast by hosting a live episode on July 1st at 7 p.m. Please email a topic you would like us to address during that live episode to Cindy, C-I-N-D-Y, at helpingkidsachieve.com. We hope you can join us on July 1st at 7. Hello, it's Cindy. I'm starting the podcast as I always do because I am sitting at the controls. But I actually have a story, Allison. That's another reason why I'm starting.
Okay.
Ready for my story? I was watching an adult talk to a young child, like maybe, 5 or 6 years old. And the child was upset about something that somebody said to him. And the adult looked at this 5 or 6 year old and said, "You can only be hurt if you allow that to happen."
What?
Yeah. So the child's feelings are hurt.
Yeah.
Which is a normal human response to someone said something mean to you.
Right.
Right? You with me?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
the adult said to this young child, "You can only be hurt if you allow that to happen to you." As if the victim is
Because it's the victim's fault.
Now it's your fault that you're allowing yourself to be hurt.
Fault that you are allowing yourself to be hurt by someone else's mean actions.
So as an adult, here's a question. As a grown adult, if someone is mean to you, does that bother you?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, as an adult, I have some emotional intelligence. I understand my own thinking and my emotions a bit. So I can sort of say to myself, I'm not going to let this take over. I'm not going to let this bother me.
Right.
Children, yes, but children certainly don't have that capacity.
No.
They don't have as much emotional intelligence as many adults, and I'm just going to put out there that many adults also have very little emotional intelligence.
There are adults that don't have this. Yeah.
Or don't have the ability to kind of just go, okay, for whatever reason in their background, in their baggage,
Right.
They don't have the capacity to say, I'm not going to let that bother me.
Right. There are adults that take things very personally, and that's just, that's okay. That's their personality, and that's who they are. That's fine.
That's right.
You're entitled to your feelings. You are entitled to your feelings even as an adult.
You are entitled to your feelings. You are entitled to feel betrayed or hurt or like trust was broken. You're entitled to that. So it just really bothers me to see an adult trying to teach a child that hurt doesn't hurt.
Right.
That they're responsible for their own normal feelings. Yes, you are having a normal human emotion. You are responsible for your reaction to that emotion. You there? Did you drop me?
Yeah. No, I'm okay. Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you are I do believe that children can be taught that they are responsible for their reaction to the emotion. Like if you're hurt, you don't go up and slap the kid.
Right, but at the age of 5, like 3-year-olds who I teach, I'm still teaching them that. Like when you're mad, you can't go up to the person and slap them. Okay?
Right.
However,
right.
They still do that sometimes because they're 3. They don't know, but we're just in the beginning phases here of like, when you're mad, that's not appropriate, but they're still going to do it because they're not in control yet. 5 years old, they're starting to get that control where they're like, okay, I am mad and I shouldn't slap this person.
Okay, but there's a huge difference. I think there's a huge difference between you are responsible for your reaction to that emotion and you are responsible and shouldn't have that emotion. Do you see what I mean?
So by saying what that person said in your story, what that person is saying is you shouldn't have a feeling at all. Right. It's your fault that you're feeling that way.
It's your fault that you have feelings.
Yeah,
it's
and
that's not the message, folks.
No, well, you should be like, it's okay to feel sad or upset or angry or whatever it is that your friend said that to you, or whoever it is that said that to you. It's okay to feel that way. What it's not okay is to, hit them or kick them or do whatever to them.
Or be spiteful. It's not okay to be spiteful.
Or bully them back or whatever it is.
From it. You can learn from it. You can be responsible for your reactions. Right. But it's like totally not okay, in my professional opinion, and in the opinion of most related scholarly work in science, it just isn't okay to basically say to children, you are not entitled to your feelings. Your feelings are wrong. You can control that even. Children, I don't know that we so much control our feelings as we control our reaction to them.
Well, yeah, I don't think you control your feelings. You control how you react to it.
Right.
Your emotions just kind of,
they happen.
I feel like they just happen. You can't help that you're sad. You're just sad. You can't help it. It happens. But how you react when you're sad or frustrated or angry is different, But I also feel like that story gives all of the power to the person who bullied that.
I don't know. I think like what the adult was probably trying to convey, I hope, is to the child is that you still have power. I think the adult was trying to say like you can choose to feel bad or not. And I don't know how true that is. I think we have feelings. Feelings are like a physical reaction sometimes, like crying and the physical reaction that happens to anger or sudden jolt. When you're suddenly jolted by someone's behavior, there is a physical reaction in your body.
Right.
The question is, what do I do with that? We can teach children, okay, take a deep breath and let's be calm and talk, try and calm down so we can talk about what we can learn from this and what you can do next time. I think it should be when children are hurt or sad because of someone else's actions. I think it is a mechanism for learning where we can teach lifelong lessons instead of saying to them, stop feeling what you're feeling.
Stop feeling that way. It's kind of like how people have been taught for a long time. Oh, stop crying. Like you don't feel, that's how we were taught when we were kids. Oh, stop it. Walk it off. Like that's how, and instead we shouldn't be teaching kids that. We should be like, it's like denying feelings instead of
accepting them.
Accepting.
You can accept your feelings and then move from there.
And then move from there and learn from it.
Yes, and say to a child, you can say to them, "I'm sorry you're hurt. I see that you're hurt.
I see that
you're hurt. I know this is hard."
Yeah.
And the question is, what do we do now?
What do we do now?
What do we do now? What do you think? How do
we make you feel better?
How can we make you feel better? And what should you do? I mean, you learned that this person can do things that hurt you. What do you think you should do?
Yeah, and next time that they do this, what should we do? Yeah.
Right. Like, what should we do?
What should we do? What should we do now?
Right.
We're still hurt. What should we do now?
We do a little problem solving.
Should we go talk to the person? Do you want to ignore this one and go for the next one? I mean, like,
what do you want to do?
Because ultimately, it's not up to you, the adult. It's up to the person who got hurt. I know we've had this conversation on a previous episode, but it's up to the person who got hurt, because sometimes your solution is not the solution that, the child wants to do.
I think we just need to look at kids and say something like, I know this is hard.
I'm
sorry you're going through this.
Yeah.
What do you think we learn, and what do you think we do? And that's so different than, you're only hurt because you allow yourself to be hurt.
Right.
No, you're hurt because you're human. You're hurt because you're a human being. And human beings sometimes hurt each other. And that's unfortunate, but it happens. So the question is, when it happens, what do you want to do about it? Right. And what would be appropriate to do about it? With some kids, depending on their age, there are times, I remember when I would say to my kids, well, if that's how that person is going to treat you, what do you think you should do? Maybe, and then they look at you and sometimes I would say, well, maybe you shouldn't play with that person anymore.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you what, like 8 out of 10 times the kids will look at you and say, no, I want to play with them.
Right. Yeah, I know.
So then what should you do? Because the potential is there to be hurt again.
Right.
So it's up to you if you want to take that risk again, or maybe you should say something about how that really hurt you. maybe you should be a little more careful in the future and protect yourself a little. But to say, oh no, feeling hurt is your own fault. Oh my gosh, I couldn't even. And there was a part of me that wanted to turn around and say, feeling hurt is not this child's fault.
It's not your fault.
Like, it depends what you want to do with it. Except I was afraid these people would start yelling at me in public. They don't know me, and I just then
you would feel hurt, and then you would be getting
I would be hurt. And I just a podcast episode.
Even as an adult, if somebody said something to me and I got hurt, and I'm an adult, okay. If somebody said that, like, oh, Allison, it's your own fault that you're hurt, then I actually would go into another room and cry because somebody said that to me. Right. I would then be hurt on top of my hurt.
It's not your fault you're hurt. Someone hurt you.
Now I'd be sitting there and be like, okay, somebody was mean to me.
Yeah.
And it's my fault that they were mean to me, and I'm to blame. And I don't know how I would handle that. I think I would just cry even more than I were like. And I'm an adult, okay? Like, I don't think I would like somebody saying that to me at my age.
Like, here's a good question.
Could you imagine being 5 and hearing that?
No, here's a good question for a kid. Something like this. Do you think that the other child was trying to hurt you?
Right.
Like, they need to start to think about the behavior of other human beings, to understand that their hurts and feelings are normal, and to know that we have to, as you become an adult, you have to know how to navigate this, right? You're going to become an adult someday, like, who's going to be in a workforce. You're going to be in a job maybe where people might not be so nice. They have to know how to navigate that, not deny.
Yeah.
And I think it's just not true that you choose your feelings. I'm going to say it for probably the 5th time in this 15-minute podcast. You choose your reaction.
Right.
And that's the message for children. Not that your reaction is going to be, I'm going to pretend this doesn't hurt. Your reaction should be, well, how are you going to approach this person now or in the future? Do you think that you should do that same thing again with or near that person? How can you make it so that maybe you won't be hurt again? That's the reaction.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Like, so, all right. I was so upset when I watched this. Like, now I'm talking about it. I'm upset all over again. So, because it's such a, it's a message that when we say to children, you can only feel hurt when you allow yourself to feel hurt, they still will feel hurt, folks, and they're just going to stuff it inside. And it's going to turn into some kind of poison inside them. When I talk to adults, I recently was doing a parent session, and we were talking some things about emotional intelligence. And I said to them, a lot of us were raised with, you don't feel your feelings. We were raised with, don't be sad, don't be scared, don't be hurt,
crying.
Don't be hurt. Yeah. There's no reason to be hurt.
There's no reason.
Don't
Walk
let
it
go
off.
of that. Right?
Yep.
Let it go. I hate that song. Ugh. Let it go. Let it go.
Let it go.
Right? We were raised with that. And when I say to a room full of adults, so then what happens to those feelings? Do they just disappear? Everyone says no. You put them inside you.
Put them inside.
You put them inside, and they become this little box of poison inside you.
Yep.
So there's no, they have to know that we understand that life can be hard and that hurt is not fun and that we just have to figure out what to do about it. Yeah. So, I wish, like, I should have given my business card to this person and said, here's the name of a podcast. Right? Like, please listen, because we do talk about intelligence, emotional intelligence sometimes. If you have a situation with children you work with or that you are raising and you're not quite sure what would be a good reaction, and we're just talking generically, we don't know your children in particular, but generally, what would be a good reaction, please feel free to email us, and you can email us things you'd like us to discuss in the podcast in the future. You can reach me at Cindy, CINDY, at helpingkidsachieve.com. And Allison, where can they reach you?
Oh, at AllisonJoy79 at gmail.com.
And Allison, tell them what to do as they're listening to this podcast. What should they be doing?
Please rate us 5 stars.
How many stars?
5.
No, not that we want 5 or anything.
Not that we want 5 or anything, but 5 would be great.
5 would be so cool. And then please also comment. That helps us out a lot on the platforms that house these podcasts. And we hope that you will subscribe and catch our next episode every other Monday, early in the morning. Our episodes are released, so you want them to just arrive like magic on your podcast app. And we hopefully will catch you on the next episode.